Welcome back! Today let's talk about how these people take their sweet and petty revenge on their ex-girlfriends and boyfriends. I got petty revenge on my cheating girlfriend and it feels great. 2 days ago, my 23 male girlfriend, 23 female, confessed she cheated on me. We've been together for 3 years and I'm going to be honest that it hurt a lot, but I didn't know how to react to that information. I know it's an immature thing, but I wanted to have the upper hand somehow and have the power. I asked her, were we monogamous? We didn't explicitly state that, so I didn't think we were monogamous either. It's okay. She is going crazy right now. I should have left the relationship, but I'm still in a relationship with her and she thinks I was also having fun on the side and I'm okay with us seeing other people. She just won't stop messaging me and called me asking questions about everything. It's crazy and I want to get out of this mess after a few more days. But it feels good, not only good, amazing. Seeing her go hysterical and question everything gives me joy. Oh, sweet, sweet revenge. Why is she even bothered? I mean, you only did to her what she was totally okay to do to you. Excellent work letting that miserable feeling of betrayal simmer there for a few days. Just remember to actually end the relationship in the end. Aha, the universe. I love it. In the next few weeks, tell her that you fell in love with your side chick. Don't give cheaters closure. Let her get eaten up by what she did. This, shocking what well-executed silence can do to someone, and it's less messy. The only way to improve on this is to have the woman best friend now text her and tell her thanks for allowing it to be out in the open now. If you live together, before you leave, get some girl's used underwear and stash it under the bed and couch and chairs. If you're going to screw her over, do it with damning evidence, so she hurts worse than you. Oh boy, now we're at expert level revenge. I'll definitely remember OP's comeback if I ever get cheated on. Let's have another story. Breakup revenge. This was many years ago. My ex and I were together for 3 years, by far the worst relationship of my life, but being in my mid-20s, I didn't know any better. Things were getting rough. He was a classic mummy's boy, and it was miserable. Finally, one morning over coffee, he said we probably should break up. Shocked, I asked, why? He replied that he had been lying to me about wanting children for 3 years. He actually didn't want to have kids, but lied to date me. I was really annoyed. Immediately left for the gym. After my workout, I realized I was completely done. Called out of work, contacted our landlord and put in 30 days notice. He was shocked, but completely avoided packing, cleaning, all of it. I packed everything of mine. It came to the day before inspection when he finally hired a moving company to arrive and pack his items. Petty revenge, the fridge was his. I had just bought an entire gallon of milk and chicken to cook for dinner. When the packing company arrived, I didn't say stuff as they wrapped up the fridge for a year-long storage at his dad's warehouse. Just watched as they hauled it off while laughing internally, knowing his family was going to wonder what ungodly smell was coming from the warehouse and how long it would take for it to be discovered. I am now happily married to an amazing man with 2 kids. So grateful that a-hole finally grew some balls to be honest. Did OP know the movers were coming that day or was it just fate? And on another note, why was he shocked when she ended the lease? Did he really think they were still living there? Revenge best served cold, then overheated in a warehouse. I remember seeing a journalist following a salvage crew who were recycling abandoned refrigerators years after Hurricane Katrina. They were in hazmat suits and it was visually awful. I can't imagine the smell. But from the reaction of the journalist's crew, it was bad. Chicken is the worst smell. I left a chicken in the trunk of my car in June. A week later, the stench was awful. Took it to my mechanic where they found it. I was now the chicken lady anytime I took my car in. You'd think they would check the fridge before packing it. I'm just glad I was nowhere near it. OP, did your ex or anyone ever say anything about it? My dad once complained about movers who packed the ashtrays with ashes and butts inside, dirty dishes in the sink, etc. I would have made sure they were clean, but yeah, movers move stuff. They don't clean it. Oh, and OP answered, right, I was shocked at first and almost stopped them. Then I remembered it wasn't mine, not my responsibility, and I was done cleaning his mess. I never heard anything. I'm sure he didn't tell a soul. Break my heart, suffer the long-term petty revenge. Several years ago, I was dating a man that seemed almost perfect. We started slow, keeping our kids out of it. He broke up with me once during the time we were dating, before I started bringing my child around him. Then, a short time later, he said he'd made a mistake and wanted me back. From that point forward, everything was great. We finally introduced our children to each other, met each other's families and friends. It was all gravy. The cherry on top was that one night, laying in bed, he said he'd loved me and my child and would raise my child as his own. I was in heaven. A week later, he told me over the phone that he wasn't feeling it anymore and told me to come get my stuff. I was absolutely hurt, but I was more angry. I was livid, because it wasn't just me who was hurting. He broke my child's heart. How do you explain to a small child that they won't see someone anymore? I handled that separately from my revenge. It turned out that although he hadn't been physically cheating on me, he had been talking to another woman that last week. They were married less than 6 months after he broke up with me. Over the few weeks following him dumping me, I started signing him up for things. Mail samples of men's incontinence underwear, prostate health supplements, severe gas treatments, along with many ED treatment options like natural herbal supplements, surgeries and devices. I've heard only of signing your ex up for spam emails. OP upped that game. The best part came about a month after the breakup. I was friendly with his friends, we'll call her Meg, and we went out for drinks. After she had a few, she finally asked that she just had to know and asked me if my ex's problems had caused issues with our home life. Apparently, after the breakup, my ex was at Meg and her husband's house one night. He was so drunk and high that he peed himself while sleeping on their couch. They all went over to my ex's that day for a cookout, and Meg found the incontinence underwear under the sink in the bathroom. I acted uncomfortable with the question and told her that I didn't really want to talk about it, that he heard me but I wasn't going to give details of our private life. She nodded and winked knowingly at me, saying she understood. I have no idea if he ever convinced his friends that in his early 30s he didn't actually have an incontinence issue. It's petty, but it made me feel better. And that's all a little revenge is about. He can blame himself for not throwing it away. Or, if he had worn them, he wouldn't have peed on the couch. So when he says he wants to be pampered, he really means it. You're in a lot better place without him. Are you sure he doesn't have an issue? He kept them and peed on a couch. She willed it into existence. I take it you're waiting for him to get married before you start signing him up for divorce lawyers. OP answered to that. He got married and I thought about it, but I didn't. This could turn into a whole long-term operation, but it's probably healthier for OP to forget her ex and move on. Alright you guys, that's it for today. Have a lovely, lovely day and see you on my next video.